Hey, how you doing? Hey, I've been driving along just thinking about this war. How do you guys think this is going? I mean, this was completely preventable, and it's causing just a worldwide disaster, no matter how you look at it. And the money we have spent just so far on this, what are we talking, 3 weeks, 4 weeks into this mess? I think there's 4,000 bridges in the United States that are in dire need of construction. They're actually a hazard. They're dangerous. We could have fixed every one of those with the money we've spent on this illegal war. And, by building bridges, by doing infrastructural things, by, education, doing things, good for America, like bridges, for instance, would help stimulate the economy and give people jobs. It has a net positive effect. Where with war, one thing that doesn't have a good return on investment is blowing shit up. Just blowing bombs off just to blow bombs off. You get nothing in return other than bad outcomes. So I don't know how bombing school children is making us safer. And by the way, there's been no credible evidence I've seen that Iran was anywhere near, attacking the U.S. with a nuclear warhead. They'd been enriching some uranium, I get it, but they have no delivery method. It was a long ways from that. By the way, Obama had an agreement in place where there was regular inspections going on, and things were in check. And of course, Trump came in, and because he's a jealous, petty little man, and he hates Obama because he's jealous, he ripped that up immediately. Said it was a bad deal, okay? Well, more recently, we've been in talks with them. My understanding is, we had an agreement that things were looking good. The one problem with that is the people we had negotiating with Iran was Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff. And these guys aren't equipped to handle those types of negotiations. Reports are Iran came out and said these guys aren't smart enough. They don't know the lingo. These guys aren't equipped. They don't even know what they're talking about. They needed people that are equipped, with these high level negotiations, that know the lingo. And that wasn't it. It'd be like having an airline have a trucker come try and be the co-pilot, and start asking where the fucking diesel tanks are and how many gears does this thing have and where the turn signals are. They're just completely a fish out of water. They weren't equipped to do it. So they didn't want to, Iran didn't want to deal with those two knuckleheads anymore because it just wasn't their area of expertise, if there is one. But I don't know, I feel like we're fighting this thing, we're working hard, not smart, right? Well, Trump and smart don't really belong in the same sentence. I mean, we can start there. The smart thing to do would have been to keep doing these negotiations and inspecting their nuclear capabilities. And, by the way, these people that jump to these conclusions, I've seen some of them on these talking head shows and podcasts that are they've got their heels dug in and they're adamant that Iran was 2 weeks away from launching at the United States with a nuclear warhead. Trump even says that. What the fuck? Look, have they thought that through? Say Iran did have the capabilities to do that. They had a delivery system. Do you think they're going to do that? How's that going to work out for them? What do you think is going to happen to them? You think we're just going to sit here? They might as well nuke themselves, because obviously we're going to retaliate. That's why countries that have nuclear capabilities don't fuck with one another, because it's a no-win situation. I mean, you could make the case the world would be safer if Iran did have nukes at this point. So, there's been nothing smart about the way this is handled. And the cost, I don't know how we're ever going to get out of it. And I think it's just panic. Everything he does is panic. at this point, Trump, because he can't get out. I mean, he's the guy, I've said this before, that takes every side of an issue, and people claim he's playing six-dimensional chess when he's not doing any of that. You know, if he says he's going north, east, south, and west, up and down, if he's going everywhere at the same time, where's he going? He's not moving at all. He's spinning. And that's what he's doing now. I think that pathetic address to the nation the other night was just more of him. That was his version of panic. He's just throwing shit at the wall, trying to distract and slow things down. Because this has just been a disaster. And it's costing us all. I tell you, the one people that do work, you know, this is going to benefit, of course. And my whole point, really, of this video and most of my channel, other than to just get on here and rant to stay fucking sane, because I can't believe the state of the world. The one people that do benefit from all this is the billionaire, the Epstein class. You know, the defense contractors. They love this shit. They're making out great. But, you know, I'm not too convinced. I don't know how you guys think. I've been told my whole life how badass our military is. How we're, you know, we've got the most sophisticated weaponry. We've got the brightest minds, blah, blah, blah. You know, we're just a world power badass. I'm not so convinced that's the case these days. I mean, we're losing this war. Because wars aren't just gauged by blowing shit up. They're bleeding us out financially right now. We're sending all these expensive missiles off just to battle their drones. They can pump out, you know, as many as they need to for 20 grand a piece, which is chump change. We're spending, you know, shooting $20 million missiles at these things. It takes 10 or 11 of them to even catch one, if we're lucky. And, you know, I don't even blame our military at all. You know, the generals, the Pentagon, the people that are probably wanting, I would assume, wanting more sophisticated weaponry. By the way, why don't we have some sort of a system to take out these drones that doesn't cost, you know, billions and billions of dollars? There's got to be a way to do that. The reason we don't is because I think the defense contractors, they're not doing what works best to have success tactfully and militarily. They're doing what is the most profitable. Just like everything, you trace it back to the money. They got shareholders. They're all interested in making these expensive, you know, missiles, these Patriot missiles and stuff that cost a fortune, but really aren't all that effective for a lot of purposes, a lot of things we need done. So, you know, this isn't sustainable. We're going to run out of missiles, and they can pump these drones out just as fast as they need to. We don't even know where the fuck they're making them. They're buried in these mountains. And now he's talking boots on the ground, and it's a real mess. So I think, you know, I don't know. I've never been in the military, and I'm certainly no expert on military tactics or war. But it wouldn't surprise me a bit if we're nowhere near the military power that we've passed ourselves off to be. And we haven't kept up. We're fighting wars from back in the 80s and 90s with old school stuff. Why? We're going to get dark. I'm going through a tunnel. Because it's profitable. So, what a mess. You know, I don't know. I won't be surprised if it, at the end of this thing, you know, us or Israel or both just end up nuking Iran from the people that are more in the know than I am, from what I hear and what I've read. That wouldn't be a huge surprise. It'd be a devastating outcome, of course. And, you know, Iran couldn't retaliate at that point with nukes, but other countries could. So God help us, who knows? You know, it's definitely not going to make things more stable. So anyway, just wanted to blurt that out. So anyway, give me a thumbs up or subscribe or something. I'm small. I'm new. I'm just an old guy over 60 on here to rant. So those are my thoughts. Tell me what you think. Stay safe out there. It's fucking crazy, man. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.